My name is Zoe. I did my undergraduate at Smith College in Massachusetts in the United States, studying economics and math with a concentration in data sciences. And then I worked for a few years in management consulting and also in various tech companies. And now I'm currently a student in the Master in Big Data and Business Analytics at ESCP.
I'm Francisco. I'm from Costa Rica. I studied computer science back there, a bachelor's. I started studying in this master, the big data and business analytics here in ESCP to specialize myself in these terms and these subjects. Also, I worked, for 6 years in the financial sector and also in the consulting sector. Well, I think, when we started building the team was more from the masters. So we started talking with some colleagues. For instance, Ligua approached to me and he asked me if I would like to join the team he was forming and teaming with him and Noelia. And I said yes, and we started discussing about a fourth person, and I come up with the idea that I've already worked with Zoe through the master, and she's a very good person in terms of working with the colleagues and everything. So I told them I've worked with Zoe before and she's pretty good, and the skills that she has is those are very amazing. I think she would be a very valuable player for us if we can add her to the team. And they said yes, why not? And then I talked to Zoe, and that's how we teamed up, and we built the team. It was just a little conversations among us.
Yeah, so it wasn't my first hackathon. Actually, I had one a while ago, a few years ago when I was doing my bachelor's degree. It was actually a much shorter one, so it's just 24 hours hackathon where we had to kind of be there all the time and eat and sleep there and kind of just do a lot of coding, endless coding in 24 hours. So there was a lot of fun, and what I learned from that is that you just have to be very crafty and just try everything that you can and work together efficiently as a team in order to achieve what you wanted to do. And also I think that my skill set and my ability to do machine learning and data analytics and coding really helped me a lot with the hackathon.
Well, through my career, I'm not very fan of hackathons. So I mentioned it's a lot of pressure, working in those in that matter. However, I've done a couple in the consulting company that I used to work. We used to gather, once a year and do a hackathon. And I worked there for 4 years, and I did the hackathons twice. I did hackathons twice over there, and I learned a lot. There are certain things that are very important in hackathons when you're trying to accomplish or to deliver something at the very end, which is how you organize your team. So you mentioned if you can team up with experienced people, it's a plus. Besides that, people that it's organized, and the people that don't bullshit a lot, that they like to do things, and get people that like to get their hands on and accomplish things. That's another thing. And people also that organize their timing, it's pretty good definitely. So those are the things that I learned from those that we applied in this hackathon, which led us to this team, which won the Michelin challenge for the Dropfly.
Yeah, so Dropfly, if you don't know what it is an application used by that's owned by Michelin that support trucker throughout their journey. So when they deliver goods from one place to another, so they take a long journey. And what Dropfly does, it provide them with recommendations on different locations throughout the journey that would be useful for them. And that's what they call points of interest, POI. So for example, restaurants they can go to, parking lots, gas station, pretty much everything they need throughout the whole journey. So Dropfly obviously has data recording the profile of the truckers, as well as the different data regarding the point of interest. And what they want to do is to understand how they can monetize these data assets, and because they don't really know what kind of value they could get out of the data, who the data can serve, or who would be willing to even pay for this kind of data. And that is really where we come in for this hackathon, is to help them propose a solution on how they can create value with the data and come up with a final business model that they can leverage in the long run.
I think basically what we did was to organize ourselves. Like we had the team was, I think we were the team with the at least the oldest average age. So Liwa already worked as a product owner before, so he has a very good organizational skills. Before we started, like he drafted, a clear path where, which would be the objectives per each day, at least to accomplish that. And at the end, we come up with this value proposition. We start ideating, like the first day was just brainstorming, getting a little bit the thoughts together. And, after the first day, we come up with this solution, that something that could, have a value proposition in itself that, that could answer to three main things, like why are we doing this, like how they can, obtain, how they can monetize these data assets that they have, and what would be the final outcome. So we came up with a value proposition with something that had to be to increase the competitiveness between these POIs, so they can obtain exclusive data access, or exclusive access to these data assets, so they can, maximize their opportunities, and their strategies on localization and regions. Also, we try to look to make this to be an intelligent proposition. Like this could be like with the real data and with high granularity of it, in order to demand in order to anticipate demands also, and anticipate what features the truckers would like to see, and in order also to do that, we thought that this should be accessible not only for the big companies, but also for medium companies. Like they could lower the costs, because normally if you want to do a market segmentation analysis or something like that, you at least need to spend annually if you want to do that for a specific sector of the market. And delivering the it will facilitate that. And if Dropfly can, and Michelin can charge just a small portion of it, they can obtain an economical benefit, and also the POIs can get a benefit from from the data assets that.
I guess to summarize what Francisco was saying, what we did was proposing a competitive analytics dashboard where the business owners and the managers can then gain a competitive advantage given the value that we got out of Dropfly data assets. And what this dashboard basically does is offering real-time analytics and business intelligence about the industry, the competitors, the trucker by doing customer segments and also different main characteristic that these points of interest businesses should not have in order to maintain their attractiveness and competitiveness in the market. Yeah, we were just really lucky, but well, the other groups were actually very impressive as well. I watched the presentation and they were very thorough and they did a really comprehensive job in just a short amount of time. I guess the main difference is that we all have different ideas for the solution, and ours was unique in the sense that we understand the user pain points very well. And we had, before the hackathon, we actually had weekly conversation with the business developer, the head of Dropfly for business development. And so we really understood the business requirements and the problem very, very clearly, and who the stakeholders are, what they're hoping to achieve. And with that in mind, we really wanted to make sure that we could offer a solution that is very concise, very clear, and feasible for them to implement in the long run, that could add the most value to their business.
Yeah, and to add to Zoe, I think besides that, our team was very, balanced, because we have two people that were from the business part and two of the technical part. So we come up with different ideas, and we added, we were able, to analyze and to take in advantage from our previous experience to how to deliver things and what things could be feasible, because sometimes you can start like making some ideas, and if you see data that it's not there, maybe those things are not going to be feasible. So those were the first things that we talked about, like we need to be sure that what we are proposing should be something feasible, and also that they can get money from it in a very simple way. And we should not get around like get into technical details or get into very business part and try to bullshit a lot. Just show them that we can do this technical part or this technical analytics dashboard in a way that they can gain the money and can deliver also these to their customers.
I guess the most difficult part is that we have very limited amount of time to come up with the solutions, trying to put all the pieces together, come up with a prototype, and also functioning machine learning models that are very complex from and working with really massive data that usually requires like a much longer amount of time to clean up. And in order to make all of that work and then present the solution within less than 1 week. Actually, we had like 4 days. So that was not easy.
I think, from my side, one of the most challenging things, it was, through sometimes, we, well, Zoe was working, she was working on her place. So it was difficult sometimes to communicate with her, especially if we had, some misunderstandings through the team, and that's obviously part of any part of the situation of any given team or family or whatever. And sometimes, like if the communication is not good enough, we had to make a way to clarify all the things among the team, especially if we're not at the same place, because sometimes, we had these curfew things, and so at least Noelia, Diego, and me, we were working part of the day on Diego's place, but the rest of the day, like, we come back to our places and we start working. So having this communication in these kind of situations that we're dealing right now, it's I think it's one of the most challenging parts. And have clarity to or the ways to clarify our ideas and how we're are one of them, probably the most challenging things that at least we didn't expect to happen in this hackathon.
So I was really focused on the technical part of the solution, which is working on the machine learning models and trying to make sense of the data and analyze the data properly. Because we didn't have a lot of time, it was important at the time to really focus on the core strength of each different team members and the different skills that we have. But if I could do it differently, I guess if we had more time, it would be nice for me to be involved in the other parts that the other team member were working on in order to pick up some new skills. So for example, Liwa did a really good job with the mock-up and prototyping the solution. So that would be something interesting that I would have liked to learn. And I think vice versa, it would have been also nice for the other team to be more involved with the machine learning models as well, if we had more time.
That's the thing, like, I support Soy, like, it's the time constraint. If we would have had more time, to develop correctly more models or to test more things, it would have been nice. I like, what I was involved in two parts, like part of the business and part of the technical. Noelia also, she decided to go a little bit more technical because she wanted to learn a little bit more of that. And at the very end, I wouldn't change too much what we did, but definitely the time constraint that we have would have been better if we would have had more time in order to learn more skills and to test more models and to see more and to actually develop more our solution. To come up with something tangible that these guys can implement right away in their system.
When we won the first prize, it was really unexpected for me.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to happen, but it was unexpected that it will happen, right? Yeah, we had some goodies, and also they're sending us a smart box. I don't know what's the thing inside smart box, but apparently they are sending something to us, for our effort, and we really appreciate that. At this, it makes us feel like we did all this job, then we can help, this company, and we can also get something in return, which is something obviously fulfilling for all of us.
My advice would be to just have fun and try to experiment with as many ideas as you can. In the end, even if you have to only have time to work on one idea, it will be fun to kind of brainstorm and really come up, think up solutions that's out of the box.
Yeah, my advice also would be organize yourself while you're having fun, because if you know where you're going, it would be easier for you to do or to accomplish things. So organize yourself. It's always plan ahead. It's always good, either in a hackathon or in life. It's I think it's one of the most important advices that I would say. Thank you, Aran, for your time, obviously, and the Big Data Club for making this happen. Also, to the ESCP way, Michelin, and Spinfi, for making the hackathon happen. And besides and despite the whole COVID situation that we are having right now, it's very nice that we were able to help a company, to monetize their data assets and come up with a final solution that will help them will help their clients also to gain more insights about their segments. So definitely I think I'm very, very glad that we worked together through this, and I wouldn't change anything. And from my part, I also would like to say thank you to my team, Zoe, Noelia, and Liwa, of course. You guys were a great team, and definitely I appreciate working with all of you, and I hope to work together so on in my life with you guys. So yeah, looking forward to that.